water started to rise on the floors. I'm Mark Williams, and like everybody that came out of there, I'm a survivor. I'm trying to get my head up, and I'm starting to breathe water in.
Tragedy was flooding the lobby of Kansas City's Hyatt Regency Hotel in the summer of 1981. 2 skywalks collapsed at a crowded tea dance. A water line in the upper walkway was severed, filling the floor with water, floating debris, and blood.
I've read that drowning isn't a bad way to go, but I guess that's how I'm going to die here.
I could see one guy that was, all you could see was his torso and his head. And he was screaming to help him get it, and we couldn't pull him out. But the water was coming up. My name is Vincent Ortega. I was a police officer at the time of the Hyatt collapse. I never felt so helpless and disorganized.
It took 48 minutes before a hotel engineer was able to shut off the water. The time now, nearly 8 o'clock.
The people who come out in the beginning are the walking wounded, and they will overwhelm your system.
Outside, Dr. Joe Wackerly and a pair of medical residents were at work.
You have to carefully and compassionately separate them to get to the people that you really need to be attending to.
What we then see start to happen is the early stages of a triage unit.
Somebody came up to me and said, Joe, this is important what you're doing, but it's catastrophic inside. And I remember this cloud of 15 seconds. I just said, why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I here? And how am I going to be able to help this? And I remember saying a little prayer and saying, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm here. Let's get on with it.
Most rescues happen within the first hour.
The location of Hyatt Hotel was really close to the area in Kansas City known as Hospital Hill, where there were a number of different hospitals, not the least of which is the Truman Medical Center.
Mainly orthopedics and trauma and abdominal disasters, chest, and that's about it.
Most of the injuries serious?
Yes.
With so many injured, hospitals needed 200 pints of blood immediately.
Number 660.
The community blood center filled with donors, some waiting 3 hours overnight to give. 500 donors were turned away. Small outstate hospitals were also using the highway patrol to rush their blood supplies to Kansas City.
We have at least 250 police officers, I'd guess an equal number of firemen, and about 200 medical, paramedics, doctors, and nurses who are treating the injured. I'd guess at least 600 people.
First responders knew time wasn't on their side. 72 tons of concrete and steel stood between rescuers and the people now trapped inside. The hotel's entrance removed so heavy machines could get in.
With me is a Kansas City, Missouri fire spokesman, Harold Kanabe.
Now we've tried to lift one side up of the bottom platform so we could shore it up and continue to move it, but it is so heavy it just keeps kicking all the devices back away from it.
When that equipment failed, cranes were brought in from a nearby construction site to hoist up massive pieces of wreckage in hopes of finding anyone still alive.
You've been chief how long in Kansas City? I've been a policeman 27 years, and I've been chief for 3.5. Have you ever seen anything like this before? No, this is probably the worst disaster that's ever occurred in Kansas City.
Mark Williams was crushed underneath 2 skywalks, his legs pulled from their sockets, one ankle behind his head. He was trapped, but not alone.
The only noise I heard under there was another young girl who was under there, and I heard her saying her prayers. And I recognized her prayers as being Catholic prayers because I grew up a Catholic, and so we kind of talked and said some prayers together.
Pam Coffey's father had died, but the little girl didn't know.
Her concern was not about herself. Her concern was about her father. And was her father under there with her, or was he okay? And she asked me, and I told her a lie. I said, I saw your dad. He's okay. He was out. This didn't fall on him. And so that kind of comforted her. And then she just went silent.
11-year-old Pam would be the youngest victim of the Hyatt Skywalk's collapse.
Padre Santo, ayúdame.
She was a religious woman.
Teresa Cuevas was also talking to God that night.
She just kind of reverted back to what she knew, something that would comfort her, and that was to pray in Spanish.
Between the skywalks and the bodies,
she would speak about how she was buried under another person, essentially, and was praying in Spanish. And that's how she was rescued. That's how they found her.
But 4 of Teresa's Mariachi Estrella bandmates didn't make it, including young mother Linda Skurlock. A hotel conference room became a makeshift morgue as more bodies were recovered. With few resources, Dr. Joe Wackerly had to make life-altering decisions in just moments.
There were times when I looked at him and said, I can't get you out. I can't help you. You're going to die. Make your peace with God. And I moved on.
Some victims asked for morphine to ease the pain. Initially, rescuers didn't have it. This was not the ER. This was a war zone.
I had to dismember some bodies to get some other bodies, to get some live people out. And I had to let a few people die in order that others might live, who were going to die no matter what I did.
Bartender Jeff Durham's legs were pinned by steel beams.
I said, your leg is not salvageable, probably, even if we could get it off of you, and I don't think we can get you out, and you're not going to live otherwise. And I have to look at some other people, so why don't you think about that?
I never dreamed that I could stand and watch a man's leg being cut off.
The leg was amputated with a chainsaw, but Jeff didn't make it.
Yeah, there was nothing that prepared any one of us for what was in there and how we had to deal with it later. I remember one of my buddies trying to help this man. He was reaching, trying to help this man, and he literally, as he was helping him, he was pulling and pulled his arm off, and he just dropped it and then just ran out of there. And I remember there was a lot of officers, paramedics, firemen that left the careers after that. Mentally, they couldn't process it.
Hours into the ordeal, recoveries outnumbered rescues.
Our last count is that we are now in contact with 7 people. One youngster that is 11 years old, he seems to be in pretty good shape. We've had a firefighter talking to him for the past hour.
Dalton Grant was physically in one piece, trapped in a pocket of debris with his mother, Constance Downing.
I asked her if we were going to die, and she said, pretty matter of fact, I don't know, but if we do, we're going to go to a better place than here. I had a bit of a near-death experience when I was in there, which wasn't the light at the end of the tunnel and relatives waving me in. It was a real dark, big space that was just kind of apathetic, and it asked me if I wanted to stop the pain, I could stand up and walk into it. It wasn't a happy place, but it wasn't a sad place. It's hard to explain, but the darkness that was in front of my face, as I was pinned on the ground, the darkness that was in front of my face just opened into a cavernous space.